Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, just a couple of things on channel lock today. The straight line in channel lock. The straight line is essentially that straight line. And I think the more we can think along the lines of everything being straight, that being our arms being straight, the club being straight, and the club face looking straight at the ball. Just like a big windscreen wiper. Now, windscreen wiper doesn't change its orientation. It's got a fixed pivot point and the arm stays the same length. And it does that. Now, the advantage of having the straight line in the swing as opposed to a lot of sideways and then backwards and around, it just takes those elements out. Okay, we're still going to have an around and there'll still be an arc, but it won't feel like it. It'll feel more like a straight line than an arc. And the golf club won't be going that way, it'll be going that way. It'll be going rearwards. So it'll be this feeling. And that will actually be the feeling in the golf swing that we should try and cultivate, guys. That is this type of golf swing. Here. All this, I'll just do it side on. All this takes place by way of download inertia. You don't have to upcock the golf club, and you don't have to downcock it. If you let the golf club go back with pure swinging inertia. And what is that? Pure swinging inertia, guys, is this. That's pure swinging inertia. That's what that is. That's me throwing the club back with its own weight dictating its direction. And the only difference in the golf swing is I would hang on to it. That's the only difference. That's pure inertia. There it is there. And that inertia of the weight of the golf club going back will do all the cocking, the upcocking, and the downloading and the downcocking, or the downhinging. If you hinge back and then downhinge, which I do, I mean, I don't try and physically cock my hands, I just hinge them. I feel the club's pointing at the ball. Here, it's going back looking at the ball. Now, for all intents and purposes, that's looking at the ground. But that's what I want it to feel like. Because there's no face rotation in that. If I take the face back from there and I rotate it to there in a normal backswing, that's looking over there. It's not looking at the ball. But if I took that back in a normal golf swing and I kept it looking at the ball, it's looking at the ball. That's called square to square, or for the uninitiated, shut to shut. But there's been some good golf played with that over the years, guys. Some people have played fantastic golf with just that. So in channel lock, all we're trying to do is make this as simplistic as possible. Once we've got our back ball position here, whatever it is, here, we just want to straight line it here and keep the straight line going. Here. There'll be all sorts of things happening. There'll be rotation, but you don't want to feel any. You don't want to cultivate a roll or a rotation in the backswing. On the downswing, I've been saying we need to get it going early from the top. I do that automatically now. But for people that have trouble unloading the golf club or releasing the golf club, that is a conscious effort. So what I'm saying, guys, is that what we want to do is we want to cultivate just momentum. If I threw that club and let it keep going and I let go of it, go over the fence into the scrub over there. And that's all the golf swing is. It's a swing. You're swinging the mass. And you don't want to impede the mass. You just want to let the mass go by itself and find out where it wants to go. That famous line by Mo Norman. When I asked him, I said, what do you think about this in the backswing? He said, I don't have a backswing. And I said, what do you mean, Mo? He said, I don't have a backswing. He said, I just throw it back there somewhere. I just throw it back there somewhere. He said, Hogan and I both did that. He said, do you think Hogan tried to put the club in a position? He said, why was he doing that? He was feeling the inertia and the momentum. Mo never did that. Mo started from here. But once Mo started, he just fired the club with pure inertia. And he said, I just throw it back there. You can't position a golf club. You've got to just toss it back there and let it find its own position. You can't place it anywhere. And I've always been an advocate of that. And I've taught that basically that my whole life, even before I got involved with Mo Norman, because I've been an inertia person, inertia loading in any golf swing. So straight line is straight line, guys. That's straight face, here, here, here. It just, if you just took the club back there with the face like that and just brought it back, took it back here and then brought it back, it just goes straight to the target. I mean, that's just straight lining it. That's a straight line attack. It's that simple. Just get here, we just push everything back. It just goes dead straight. But I'm not thinking about any wrist cock, and we don't want to think about any wrist cock. So how do we do that in a full swing? Well, we have to understand what a swing is, and a swing is that, is moving. The old description that I used, if you had a golf club that was just pushed on here and wasn't glued on, it was just sitting on there, and you wanted to throw the head off the golf club in the backswing, how would you do it? You would fling the head. Now I saw dispatches from a couple of people, and even Hogan said to a couple of people that he tried to fling the ball when he came in. He tried to fling it. He didn't try to hit it, he tried to fling it. Fling it. After he was turning it down, he was flinging it. So he was keeping that inertia in the backswing, the same as he had it in the downswing, the same as he had it in the backswing. And what it is, guys, is just swinging the golf club, but just swinging it this way in channel lock and not thinking about any angles. What I personally do is I hinge my wrist. I don't cock my wrist. And that's why my club head stays down lower than most people, and it tends to stay in line with my trail arm, forearm, because I don't cock the club. I hinge it here. And that's a very powerful action. And that's the only high-speed hinge in the body, guys, but we really don't use it. When you do, that's a radius move, and that's an ulnar move. If you do a radius move, there, you're taking away, there's not much speed there, but there's a lot there. And, people don't realise that. But there have been guys that have been hinges. So all we're trying to do, guys, is what we said the other day, is we're trying to eliminate any wrist cock and just feel like everything's just one big line. We go to here, everything's one big line, and we just bring it back. Just one big line. When I say one big line, one big straight line. Haven't hit any shots today, but I'll apply the protocol and everything should be okay. First shot of the day. A little bit of foot up, but that's dead straight. Dead straight. Just straight back. Just smooth it out. Straight line. Keep the club looking at the ball. It's very simple. And you won't get gouges with it, guys, because it really does shallow out the downswing. It really does shallow it out. I'll hit a couple on this angle. Just one big straight line. Wow. I mean, you can hear that contact, but that's really good. And there's no gougy divots, guys. None of that. Now that's dead cold. First couple of shots were third or fourth groove, but just perfect. Would have went on the green. So you can have no practice and go out and play. You're still going to hit the same shape. Everyone has exactly the same shape. No difference in the shape. And I'm keeping the club looking at the ball all the way through the golf swing. Boy, that's long. Or strong. That's really strong. Now, what does it feel like? It feels like I'm the Tin Man or a wooden man. I feel like there's no angles going on in the golf swing. It's just this. That's what it feels like. And the more of that I can get with my smearing action, the more I can get the smear from that straight line action, the better the shot is. See how quick you can get on the job, like 6 or 7 shots. Every one of those was just, they're just dead straight, guys, dead straight. Now, if anybody's hitting these and you're experiencing, as Bill Phillips described, little baby draw, and he explained a little bit about that this morning on his website, why with this swing your basic shot will be a little baby draw. Well, guys, the reason is it's just geometry. Because we're swinging from the side of the body, here, the club is always coming in to out. It can't go any other way. And if you've got the club face pointing at your target and you're swinging in to out, then your club face is closed to your path line, which is going to put draw spin on the ball. So your standard shot's always a little draw. If I want to hit a dead straight, I just open the face a little bit and I just push it. It's just a dead straight push, but a straight push. And you don't have to cut the ball or fade the ball. You could just push it. You just hit a straight push. And the degree of push depends on how much you open the face. And the amount of draw depends on how much you shut the face. I shut the face about 4 or 5 degrees, and I guess my attack line's probably 10 degrees into out. And so I'm getting that little 3 to 5 yard draw every shot. So that's the real reason, guys, it's geometry. You have to hit a draw if the path is into out and the club face is closing down. Can't do anything else. And of course the good thing about having an into out path, the only way that happens is when the shoulders are closed, which is channel lock or channel block, and we're swinging over here beside the body. We don't swing in front of the body. There's no in front of the body in the channel lock swing. It's always beside the body, and the only way we can be beside the body is to have closed shoulders. Now if you close shoulders, you can't hit an over the top shot. So you can't hit a pull or a drag. You can't do that because the shoulders are closed. I have not hit one pull or drag from the first shot I hit with channel lock 3 months ago when I started. Not one. And I mean not one. I can't because I'm too shut down. It doesn't move, it's a couple of yards at the most. Guys, the ball flight's really good. It doesn't vary. Just hit a couple this way. And that's as much as my foot will come up, guys. It won't come up much more than that. Channel lock, protocol. There it is, guys. You get the protocol and you do that dump this way, do that back dump there, and with your back dump, if you fire it that way, that's the sort of impact you get. Yeah, the feeling is we're firing the club this way. Now what does that do? That clearly gives us a closed shoulders. We're firing it that way as a feel. Now I've hit, but what, a dozen shots? wouldn't know I've been here. I could hit shots off the practice green. The range owner wouldn't like it, but he wouldn't know I'd been there. Okay, we'll really turn this down. Club is looking at the ball, and once it's here I'm going to try and turn it even down more. Get this way a little bit. There's no surprises, guys. You never get surprises. I'll keep that trail foot down. Every one of those is the same. I say it's the same, it's exactly the same ball flight. It's a little push draw. Can't be anything else. That's the impact you want, guys. Wow, that's good. Whew. And they say you can't spin a shot if you don't clamp down on top of it. There's no clamp on that, but you know, that's got as much spin as you need to fly the shot into a green and hold it. That's as much spin as you need. Alright, now I'm warmed up. This will be perfect. Straight line, club looking at the ball and really turn down from the top. There it is, guys. Wow, that's good contact. Whoa! Oh, I love that. And that's what I like. I keep saying it. I can come out here dead cold or come from the gym stiff as a board. Doesn't make any difference. I might hit a little, you know, third, fourth, or fifth groove, first couple of shots, but still go on the green. And they're just centre cut, guys. But that back dump or back slap there, major plus. Okay, let's really put some hurt on it, JH. Put some hurt on this golf ball right here. Protocol, straight line. Wow. As Mo would say, it's boring 1.68 holes in the sky. I'm not referring to me in any manner or form relative to Mo Norman. The only thing we had in common was 2 legs, 2 arms, and the head in the middle of the body. From there on, there was nothing in common in terms of ability. Here we go, guys. This is a straight line. Here, club looking at the ball, and we're going to back throw it in there. Protocol. Oh. Guys, what this will do for the club player, most club players get spooked when the lies become tight. With this golf swing, it doesn't matter how tight the lie is, because you're not gouging and you've got no chance of coming in and hitting the ball fat. Just won't do that because it's a shallow attack on the ball. As I say, you know, you a couple of blades of grass disturbed here and I could hit off the practice green, you wouldn't know. I just don't take any divots. But the impact is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And last shot. Protocol. Turn this way. Last shot, and that's the best shot of the day. I'm only getting a little bit of rise. Guys, all those shots are in a... Well, they're in a 20-foot circle, but a lot of them are in a 10-foot circle. Yeah, it really is very accurate. I don't know what the sky's like. I'm going to fiddle a bit with the camera today. Anyway, guys, that's just today's video. If I can get the light right, I'm going to come back and hit some shots down range so we can really see the ball. Somebody's given me the clue on how to set up. Today's message: take the club back, we take it back straight line. Club face looking at the ball, keep it there, feel like it's that, and then on the downswing, fire it back there. Start turning that club back down, but feel like you want to fire it back there. The advantage of that, guys, is that it'll keep your shoulders really closed. If you're someone that's having some pulls, think of firing the club really early back here. See what that does. Look, when I think about that, when I get here and I fire it here, look, it drives all the weight down into that trail leg, that trail vertical axis. Makes me stay there. The trail vertical axis is stabilised and energised. It keeps the trail rib cage back, and in turn keeps the trail shoulder back, which achieves our objective of keeping the shoulders shut when we hit the ball. Okay guys, that's just a little bit that I wanted to tell you, but also when you're taking it back, make sure that we use that momentum. When we take it back, when we're pushing, that's the feeling you want. The head of the club going there, that's the feeling you want. And the only difference, guys, is you're hanging onto the golf club, but you want that feeling that it's escaping. That's what I call escape velocity. Create a velocity that wants the club head to escape. If you can feel it trying to escape, and then stop it from escaping and just turn against that escape, that's where you get the automatic download or the down hinge. That's the automatic nature of that happening. You don't have to take the club back, create a wrist cock or a wrist hinge, and then try and hold that on the way down, because guys, you can't do that. You can't do that. All the great ball strikers swing the club head. There's very few guys that place it. And somebody sent me some video the other day that I'd never seen before of Mo Norman. I might put it on the web, on the channel, for people to have a look at. And it was got Mo back up when he was still playing the senior tour, and it was his proper golf swing, his full length golf swing. Guys, you want to see momentum. If you want to see momentum in a golf swing and how much whip action that man had, the Mo Norman golf swing that you see in the videos on YouTube now from 1990 on aren't the Mo Norman golf swing. Mo got older, he got, thick, he lost his flexibility, and the swing was very short. But you want to see the power and the speed that he's got in this on this video. I think I'll put it up for some of the guys to see, because it's extraordinary. Somebody sent it to me, and Gary sent it to me. Thanks, Gary, you know who you are, and I'm eternally grateful, and just fantastic. It must have surfaced recently, because I never saw it even with the Natural Golf guys, and Graves never had it, but it's on the Todd Graves website now. He must have just got it recently, because I've never seen it before. But it's unbelievable when you see the flash in the swing and the way he just loads it. Okay, that's Mo's swing, but the loading is what we want to talk about. Okay guys, that's all for that. I'll see if the light's good, and we may hit a couple down here, and you may be able to see some real ball flight.